Bucks fans were excited they fired their coach. We knew for months this defense was awful. Good job. So who's the replacement? Doc Rivers?
No, God! No, God, please, no!
Well, I guess this will be interesting. But why are the Bucks acting like this, making wild decisions? Because of Giannis. Dude has made it clear he will leave this franchise if they don't win. You think he needs to be a free agent? No. Giannis signed a big deal before the season, but in the era of player empowerment, don't think he won't ask out. Milwaukee was so bad on defense. Bobby Marks calls them the Hawks on steroids, which is true. Gotta score 141 just to beat the Pistons. So if they knew Adrian Griffin wasn't the guy, don't wait to the end of the season. Do it now. You can't afford to waste a prime season of Giannis just to lose in the second round. Giannis said he will stay as long as everyone is doing all they can to win, and that's what this firing shows. But how much of this is on Giannis himself? But first, today's video is sponsored by Underdog. My favorite game is called Pick'em, where you pick higher or lower on either your favorite players and whatever game that you're gonna watch that night. You can up to 20x your money on a single night. But I wanna give you my 2 picks for tonight's game. First up is Stephen Curry, higher assists. I mean, they're playing the Hawks, so there will be a lot of offense. Also, without Chris Paul, Steph has hit this 7 of the last 8 times. Sweet. Next up is LaMelo Ball. I just want to watch LaMelo. They're playing the Pistons, so again, a lot of offense. We're going to go higher on his points. I think he will clean up with Terry Rozier now in Miami. Best of luck if you are tailing those picks. Check out this map to see if Underdog is available in your area, but please use the promo code AMHOOPS. You can double your deposit up to $100, but mostly it really helps out the channel. Again, promo code AMHOOPS. In the offseason, they fired Coach Mike Budenholzer, who is an amazing basketball mind. He coached the Hawks in 2015 to the 1 seed, whose best players were Al Horford, Kyle Korver, and Jeff Teague. The season before Milwaukee hired Bud, they were the 8 seed under Coach Jason Kidd. Bud immediately put them in the 1 seed back-to-back years, then won the title in 2021. He was criticized for not making adjustments in the playoffs, so when they lost to the 8 seed Heat in the first round, he was out. But the Bucks had 3 finalists for a new head coach: Kenny Atkinson, Nick Nurse, and Adrian Griffin. Giannis met with all 3, but personally picked Griffin with no head coach experience. Then a few weeks later, we got our first red flag. To help Damian Lillard feel comfortable, they hired Terry Stotts to be assistant coach. Terry coached Dame for 9 years in Portland and is still one of the most respected guys in the league. So 1 week before the season, after practice, Griffin called 1 huddle for the players, 1 huddle for the coaches. Stotts started to walk with Giannis and Dame to give a detail on the offense. Griffin said, "Hey Terry, come with the coaches." And Terry said, "Oh, I'll be right there. I just got to tell Dame and Giannis one quick thing." And Griffin then yelled, "I said come with the coaches," in front of everyone. So Terry Stotts quit a few days later. Dude lost his lead assistant because he was too insecure about having him on his bench. I'm sure Giannis felt a little uneasy about that, but when games actually started, he knew they were screwed. Griffin installed an aggressive defense that backfired. The players had to convince him to trash it. Then, after a win in late November, he admitted Giannis changed one of his plays in crunch time. Down the stretch, I was looking at Dame, who hit a couple of big threes, trying to get a play for him again. And Giannis was like, hey, we've got to go to Chris Middleton. The first sign Giannis did not respect him as a coach. There's even video of Giannis drawing up his own plays recently, but it was really exposed after their in-season tournament loss to the Pacers. The Bucks were outscored 15-7 in the final 2:40 of play. Bobby Portis confronted Griffin to his face about their lack of a plan in crunch time. No one commented on that locker room argument, but Giannis made his feelings clear. We have to be more organized. We have to know what we're trying to get down the stretch. Nothing is given to you in an NBA game. Like, we have to know what we're actually trying to accomplish down the stretch. I feel like sometimes we weren't on the same page and it cost us. Then in a big game facing the Celtics against Drew Holiday, who they traded for Dame, Giannis blew up at his coach on live TV. Giannis got called for a travel midway through the third quarter. Griffin took him out of the game, down 14. Giannis tells him, no, I don't want to come out. But Griffin insisted. Then Giannis refuses to go to the bench, heated on the scorer's table for taking him out. This really reminds you of the only other time a coach was fired while being this successful. In 2016, the Cavaliers fired David Blatt despite being 30-11. He made the finals 1 year before, but during the season, you saw Kyrie argue with him about a timeout. LeBron James pushed his own coach while arguing about a call. The Cavs won the title that season, by the way, but dude had lost the respect of his best players. So this wasn't just about the bad defense. Giannis didn't respect anything about the way this guy coached. He didn't like his rotations, his lack of a plan in certain spots. But defense is their biggest issue. Under Budenholzer, the Hawks had the #1 D their first 2 years. Slipped to 9-14, but they won the title in 2021. This season, 22nd in the NBA. Since defensive tracking started, only 2 teams have won outside of the top 15. The Denver Nuggets last year and the 0-1 Shaq Kobe Lakers. If something doesn't change, the Bucks are screwed. And you knew a big change was coming after Giannis went on this rant after a loss.
We have to play better, we have to defend better, we have to trust one another better, we have to be coached better. Every single thing, everybody has to be better. Everybody. It starts from the equipment manager. He has to wash our clothes better. The bench has to be better. The leaders of the team have to be more vocal. We have to make more shots. We have to defend better. We have to have better strategy. We have to be better, you know. And hopefully now it's what are we? January 6th. We have 4 months to get better. So let's see.
But that's a problem because the Bucks have almost 0 ways to improve the roster. Outside of Dame, Middleton, and Giannis, they have Brook Lopez, who you can't trade as the second best defender, Bobby Portis and Pat Connaughton, who are okay. 0 great young players, 0 first-round picks, and 2 seconds. Rumors say they want DeJounte Murray. For what? That's as dumb as the Lakers saying they want Donovan Mitchell or Trae Young. It's not gonna happen. So the only real move here was to fire the head coach. Now they are closing in on Doc Rivers. He might already be the coach by the time you see this. And look, I like Doc on TV and on podcasts, but he has blown 3 3-1 leads and 2 3-2 leads. I used to think, that's just lazy analysis. Look, at some point, it's not a coincidence. There have been only 13 blown 3-1 leads ever, so 23% of the time, it's done by Doc. I know he won the title in 2008, but the NBA was so much different back then, and his lead assistant was Tom Thibodeau, who became a legend by himself. The Sixers didn't skip a beat losing James Harden this year, and Nick Nurse was a big reason why. The guy the Bucks could have had. Philly now looks great on the court, and players were relieved that Doc was gone. So now I guess we're gonna see if Adrian Griffin was the problem, or if they should never have fired Budenholzer and traded Drew Holiday for Damian Lillard. I know the Dame pick and roll is nice, but every team Dame has been on has been a defensive disaster, and you cannot win a championship like that. Which would be the exact scenario if, I don't know, Trae Young was with Victor Wembanyama on the Spurs. Oh wait, that is an actual rumor that is 100% legit. Not only is Trae openly flirting with Wemby at this point, but there is another reason that trade actually makes sense.